Welcome to Fortune Forecast. I am Daisy Raisler, your hostess, and you're in my book playlist. I'm so glad that you found my video or that it found you. Okay, so we've been going through the work of Theron Q. Dumont, also known as William Walker Atkinson. That was his pseudonym. And so this book is called The Power of Concentration. And I'm really excited what I'm reading. I've had a couple epiphanies, and I get to understand a little bit better what that law of attraction is. And it really is a very magnified intensity of focus. And the previous chapter was lengthy in a way, in the sense that there were a lot of golden nuggets there. But for me, the big takeaway was that every one of us has the ability to be our own master. But how about this? When he wrote in there that he said that the person that never wants anything gets little, so kind of made me reflect on some of the things that I have not pursued and why. And I came back to my parents, and I'm not blaming them, but I had in my mind, under that short period of time with them, conditioned myself to believe that, why can't I pursue more? And there is plenty for all of us. And the thing is that as you do things, like he mentioned in the previous chapters, with that goodness in mind, you know what? Then God will always find a way for us, not only to bless ourselves, but to also be a blessing for others. So in that, when he said that power of mental demand is there for everyone. This is not something that you sit there visualizing, specifically talking about the power of mental demand. It was just having the ability to develop your brain. Developing our brain is not something that is taught in school. Yes, we're taught arithmetic, reading, and writing, but this goes a little bit beyond. And definitely harnessing the right attitude, the right mental attitude that's going to help us, move forward into being successful at whatever we want to be successful at. And so, this is really a lot of digging in for ourselves and realizing this is not pointing fingers. It's a decision, and to realize that we can choose to be a better person. It doesn't matter how old we are. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's jump in to the next lesson. I would be encouraged if you would give me your feedback. What do you think about this lesson, and what is it that you'd like to push through? And I hope that we can do it together. Okay. Lesson 8. Concentration gives mental poise. You will find that the man that concentrates is well poised, whereas the man that allows his mind to wander is easily upset. When in this state, wisdom does not pass from the subconscious storehouse into the consciousness. There must be mental quiet before the two consciousnesses can work in harmony. When you are able to concentrate, you have peace of mind. If you are in the habit of losing your poise, form the habit of reading literature that has a quietening power. Just the second you feel your poise slipping, say, peace. And then hold this thought in mind, and you will never lose your self-control. There cannot be perfect concentration until there is peace of mind. So keep thinking peace, acting peace, until you are at peace with all the world. For when once you have reached this state, there will be no trouble to concentrate on anything you wish. When you have peace of mind, you are not timid or anxious or fearful or rigid, and you will not allow any disturbing thought to influence you. You cast aside all fears and think of yourself as a spark of the divine being, as a manifestation of the one universal principle that fills all space and time. Think of yourself thus as a child of the infinite, possessing infinite possibilities. Write on a piece of paper, I have the power to do and to be whatever I wish to do and be. Keep this mentally before you, and you will find the thought will be of great help to you. The mistake of concentrating on your business while away. In order to be successful today, you must concentrate. But don't become a slave to concentration and carry your business cares home. Just as sure as you do, you will be burning the life forces at both ends, and the fire will go out much sooner than was intended. Many men become so absorbed in their business that when they go to church, they do not hear the preacher because their minds are on their business. If they go to the theater, they do not enjoy it because their business is on their minds. When they go to bed, they think about business instead of sleep and wonder why they don't sleep. This is the wrong kind of concentration and is dangerous. It is involuntary. When you are unable to get anything out of your mind, it becomes unwholesome, as any thought held continuously causes weariness of the flesh. It is a big mistake to let a thought rule you instead of ruling it. He who does not rule himself is not a success. If you cannot control your concentration, your health will suffer. So never become so absorbed with anything that you cannot lay it aside and take up another. This is self-control. Concentration is paying attention to a chosen thought. Everything that passes before the eye makes an impression on the subconscious mind. But unless you pay attention to some certain thing, you will not remember what you saw. For instance, if you walk down a busy street without seeing anything that attracted your particular attention, you cannot recall anything you saw. So you see only what attracts your attention. If you work, you only see and remember what you think about. When you concentrate on something, it absorbs your whole thought. Self-study valuable. Everyone has some habits that can be overcome by concentration. We all say, for instance, you are in the habit of complaining, or finding fault with yourself or others, or imagining that you do not possess the ability of others, or feeling that you're not as good as someone else, or that you cannot rely on yourself, or harboring any similar thoughts or thoughts of weakness. These should be cast aside, and instead, thoughts of strength should be put in their place. Just remember, every time you think of yourself as being weak, in some way you are making yourself so by thinking you are. Our mental conditions make us what we are. Just watch yourself and see how much time you waste in worrying, fretting, and complaining. The more of it you do, the worse off you are. Just the minute that you are aware of thinking a negative thought, immediately change to a positive one. If you start to think of failure, change to thinking of success. You have the germ of success within you. Care for it, the same as the setting hen broods over the eggs, and you can make it a reality. You can make those that you come into contact with feel as you do, because you radiate vibrations of the way you feel, and your vibrations are felt by others. When you concentrate on a certain thing, you turn all the rays of your vibration on this. Thought is the directing power of all life's vibrations. If a person should enter a room with a lot of people and feel as if he were a person of no consequence, no one would know he was all there unless they saw him. And even if they did, they would not remember seeing him, because they were not attracted towards him. But let him enter that room feeling that he was magnetic and concentrating on this thought, others would feel his vibration. So remember, the way you feel, you can make others feel. This is the law. Make yourself a concentrated dynamo from which your thoughts vibrate to others. Then you are a power in the world. Cultivate the art of feeling. For as I said before, you can only make others feel what you feel. If you will study all the great characters of history, you will find that they were enthusiastic. First, they were enthusiastic themselves, and then they could arouse others' enthusiasm. It is latent in everyone. It is a wonderful force when once aroused. All public men, to be a success, have to possess it. Cultivate it by concentration. Set aside some hour of the day wherein to hold rapt converse with the soul. Meditate with sincere desire and contrite heart, and you will be able to accomplish that which you have meditated on. This is the keynote of success. Think, speak, and act just as you wish to be, and you will be that which you wish to be. You are just what you think you are and not what you may appear to be. You may fool others but not yourself. You may control your life and actions just as you can control your hands. If you want to raise your hand, you must first think of raising it. If you want to control your life, you must first control your thinking. Easy to do, is it not? Yes, it is, if you will but concentrate on what you think about. For he only can, that says he will. How can we secure concentration? To this question, the first and last answer must be by interest and strong motive. The stronger the motive, the greater the concentration. Eustace Miller, MD. The successful lives are the concentrated lives. The utterly helpless multitude that sooner or later have to be cared for by charity are those that were never able to concentrate and who have become the victims of negative ideas. Train yourself so you will be able to centralize your thoughts and develop your brain power and increase your mental energy. Or you can be a slacker, a drifter, a quitter, or a sleeper. It all depends on how you concentrate or centralize your thoughts. Your thinking then becomes a fixed power, and you do not waste time thinking about something that would not be good for you. You pick out the thoughts that will be the means of bringing you what you desire, and they become a material reality. Whatever we create in the thought world will someday materialize. That is the law. Don't forget this. In the old days, men drifted without concentration, but this is a day of efficiency, and therefore all of our efforts must be concentrated if we are to win any success worth the name. Why people often do not get what they concentrate on. Because they sit down in hopeless despair and expect it to come to them. But if they will just reach out for it with their biggest effort, they will find it is within their reach. No one limits us but ourselves. We are what we are today as the result of internal conditions. We can't control the external conditions. They are subject to our will. Through our concentration, we can attract what we want because we became in rapport with the universal forces from which we can get what we want. You have watched races, no doubt. They all line up together. Each has his mind set on getting to the goal before the others. This is one kind of concentration. A man starts to think on a certain subject. He has all kinds of thoughts come to him, but by concentration, he shuts out all these but the one he has chosen. Concentration is just a case of willing to do a certain thing and doing it. If you want to accomplish anything, first put yourself in a concentrating, reposeful, receptive, acquiring frame of mind. In tackling unfamiliar work, make haste slowly and deliberately, and then you will secure that interior activity, which is never possible when you are in a hurry or under a strain. When you think hard or try to hurry results too quickly, you generally shut off the interior flow of thoughts and ideas. You have often, no doubt, tried hard to think of something but could not. But just as soon as you stopped trying to think of it, it came to you. And this concludes Lesson 8. Let's go on to the next video. You'll find me there waiting for you for Lesson 9.